Huge series against the Cardinals, a player profile on the most exciting prospect we've done so far, and should the Giants bring Justin Verlander back? That's all coming up on Locked On Giants.
You are Locked On Giants, your daily San Francisco Giants podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. My name is Alan Stiles. On the show, we provide daily episodes Monday through Friday, talking about the San Francisco Giants in a way that combines passion, analytics with the eye test, and a little bit of fun. I'm from the Bay Area. I also live in Sacramento now, and I host a show at Sacktown Sports 1140, the Alan Stiles Show, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Be sure to check that out, as well as emceeing at Sacramento Rivercats games. I'm lucky enough to cover a team I've been a fan of all my life. All right, it is time to discuss taking on the Cardinals, the most exciting player profile we've done so far on none other than Bo Davidson. And would it be crazy to bring Justin Verlander back? This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5-h-e-win.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. The Giants are taking on the Cardinals this weekend. We've talked about it ever since everything ended in Colorado. This is not the Orioles. This is not the Rockies. This is a team that's only a half game behind you, and a Cardinals team, another very strong, proud organization that thinks they're going to be able to hang around and maybe make a push. So what are you going to do, San Francisco Giants? What are you going to do now that people are starting to talk about you again? What are you going to do now that some expectations are starting to creep up? You've done the hard part, right? The hard part was digging yourself out of this hole. You're still in a hole, but this one is much more realistic. You're to the point now with 22 games left. You're not going to have discussions about bringing up some of the younger guys unless it's the last 5 games of the season, the last couple series. You're in a position now where you can keep the pressure on the Mets, the Padres, even the Dodgers. You got 7 coming up against the Dodgers. So what are you, not to sound like Michael Irvin, what are you prepared to do? The Giants have a chance to stay hot and keep the pressure on the Mets. But this go round, they have to do it against a team, a pesky Cardinals team that is very, very close to breaking over the same way, or breaking through the same way the Giants want to break through. It's going to be whoever crumbles the most, the fastest. It's not going to be easy. We've talked before about winning games at the bottom of your rotation. Carson Seymour will probably be the guy, and this could turn into somewhat of a bullpen game. So you know what that means. The bats better stay hot. As far as Mets watch, they'll be playing the Cincinnati Reds at around 3:40. So the Giants playing at 4:15. They'll basically be playing at the same time. So I think that's good if you're the Giants. Just worry about you, take care of yourself, take care of your own business, and see where the chips fall. That's really all you can do at this point. Padres have the Rockies at 5:40. Not worth paying a ton of attention to, but hey, the Rockies aren't going to lose every single game until the season ends. They'll lose most, but you never know. They did give a good fight to the Giants offensively. The pitching is just so horrendous out there in Colorado. So low hopes, but one thing we do know, if the Padres do scuffle against the Rockies, they are truly in a tailspin. They are truly, truly just free falling. Saturday, Verlander will probably be the guy. As we know, it's normally every other start with him. So the Giants are just going to have to keep the bats going all weekend long. That's the theme. You have to stay hot. Hitting the baseball, you have to stay hot. That's the theme for the San Francisco Giants. That's what happens at the bottom of your rotation. And that's no disrespect to those guys. That's just what it is. And honestly, it's like that for plenty of other teams. You know what it's like at the top of the bullpen. Okay, those are your guys. Let's give them 4 runs. Let's give them 5 runs. Unless something goes a little bit squirrely, normally they're going to keep us in. They're going to keep us in striking distance with 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 runs here. But you get to the bottom of the lineup. Hey, man, this is where things get dicey. That's just That's just how it goes down. So exciting stuff. The Giants still the hottest team in baseball, and I want to have a level of optimism as they head out to St. Louis. I'm just not ready to be hurt again. And yesterday, I was looking at a lot of the comments from yesterday's show. So many of them, Alan, are you gonna let them pull you back in? They're starting to pull me back in. I think this is a huge test before they even get back to playing the Dodgers again, which, hey, I mean, their future, we can have those conversations when that's time. Everything is right in front of you when you do face the Dodgers. But this is huge. And I know I said this when the Mets won and the Giants had to sit there and stew and watch the Rockies. And that was a mini test. That was a quiz, if you will. Right? You got quizzes, you got tests, and then you got the final. That was a little surprise quiz, if you will, where you just, the teacher is checking, did you do your homework? It's not too extensive. It's not a situation where you got to study all night long. This right here in St. Louis is more of a test because people are starting to say, are the Giants going to pull this off? This would be incredibly, incredibly impressive. And this is the first time the Giants have gone into a series with anybody really paying attention. When you're 5, 6, 7 games back, nobody really cares that you won a series against whoever, right? They won a series against the Brewers. They swept the Cubs. They swept the Orioles. Nobody cared because they were so far back. Now you sweep the Rockies, and even though the Rockies stink, because they did it, and the Mets continue to not even struggle, just, they're not going to win every game. The Giants have just been red hot. You're seeing, all right, well, the Giants are making a lot of headway, and they've won 10 of their last 11. Not sure that they can keep winning at this clip, but if the Mets don't fix the clip that they're winning at, the Giants could catch them. It would be tough. Same with the Padres and, to a lesser degree, the Dodgers. So this is the first opportunity for the Giants to go into a ballpark, to go into a series with a lot of people having their eyes on them saying, could this Giants team pull this off and really put pressure on the Mets? I think this is a huge series just from that regard. The Mets still have that level of shoulder room, right? Those out there in the Bay, you go on Bart before work, you go on Bart after work. There's not a lot of shoulder room. That's how the Giants want to make it with the Mets. Right now, there's still a level of, you can move around a little bit. It's not an empty Bart car or a Bart train, but you can still move around a little bit. So the Giants, after this series, if they can gain another game, right? I know inning by inning, you take every inning one at a time, take every pitch one at a time, take every game one at a time. If they can get another game coming out of this series, because they do have the tiebreaker, both the Padres and the Mets do. If they can come out of this series and be only 3 games back, just little by little by little, I think things might start to get tight out there in the Big Apple with the Mets. So that is what the Giants have to look forward to, and what Giants fans have to look forward to, a huge series. And, today for sure, I'll be watching both kind of parallel. If the Mets get off to a hot start, okay, they held serve essentially. And with the US Open going on, they held serve. So the Giants are going to have to win this game so they don't fall another game back. And that's what the Mets are going to be trying to do, as well as the Padres, for the rest of the season. On the other side, this is the most exciting player profile we've done so far. Bryce Eldridge is Bryce Eldridge. Okay, we already understand that he's going to be up in a hot second. But as far as prospects go, prospect player profile on Bo Davidson. This dude is a hidden gem, an absolute stud muffin, and he could be that dude. Don't move. More Locked On Giants coming up. Need a boost to power through the day without reaching for another cup of coffee or an energy drink? That's where Zippix caffeine toothpicks come in. Instead of the crash you get from sugary drinks, Zippix gives you a clean, convenient burst of caffeine anytime, anywhere. And if you're looking for that nicotine satisfaction, they've got Zippix nicotine toothpicks as well. I've used the caffeine toothpicks before big meetings, long drives, or even late night game watching. They give me the extra edge without the jitters. Ready to try them? Go to zippixtoothpicks.com and use promo code LOCKED ON for 10% off your first order. That's zippixtoothpicks.com, promo code LOCKED ON. Zippix Toothpicks, energy and focus anytime you need it. I've been meaning to tell y'all about my new favorite jeanswear brand, Doer. I've been living in their stretch canvas utility jacket, and honestly, they've completely changed the game for me. The best part, Doer just opened a brand new store right here in Hayes Valley, and let me tell you, you're gonna wanna stop by. I've worn my Doer jeans to work, running errands, grabbing dinner with friends, even to sporting events, and they never miss. They have 5 times the stretch of traditional denim, so you get that perfect fit without feeling restricted. I love it in this jacket. The Cool Max technology regulates your temperature and wicks away moisture, perfect for those unpredictable days in San Francisco. Doer combines the classic jeanswear style with the comfort and performance of athletic wear, the best of both worlds. Once you try them, they'll be your go-to. Visit their new store that is now open at 567 Hayes Street in Hayes Valley and mention my code LOCKEDONSF for 15% off your first order, or shop online at shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF. That's DUER for 15% off. It is time for a very, very fun player profile. Player profiles are always great, but when it's a prospect player profile, I know everybody gets very, very excited for that. And you can tell I'm excited for that. Let's talk about the 6'1" outfielder out of North Carolina, Bo Davidson. Bo Davidson, the 23-year-old from North Carolina. His story is already sounding like a Hollywood script. The kind of underdog tale Giants fans just absolutely love. Undrafted in 2023, he signed with the team for just $50,000. He had taken a short break from baseball in 2022. He has since turned heads with his brute power, plus speed, and a knack for timely hitting. His production has been ridiculous, absolutely electric. At High A Eugene, Davidson smashed 309, 412, 507 slash line before earning a promotion to Double A Richmond. His breakout efforts earned him the designation of Giants' top performing prospect by Baseball America in 2025. So far in Richmond, he slashed 238, 314, 406 with 7 bombs, okay, and 7 stolen bases. He had 12 in Eugene as far as the stolen bases are concerned. So it seems like he's starting to take more chances on the base pass, which I love. I was also reading he's still trying to get his feel on the base pass, because you can have speed. I've always been told this from different coaches. There are guys that have a lot of speed. There are guys that are good base stealers. And then there are guys that have both. And the Giants right now are trying to turn Bo Davidson into both. There are guys on the Giants right now that have one but not the other. I think Jung-Hoo Lee has pretty good speed. It's not to say that he's a bad base stealer, but he doesn't necessarily steal bases, right? Drew Gilbert as well. We've seen both of them steal bases, but I wouldn't call them base stealers, if that makes sense. Bo Davidson's climbed high on the organizational boards, the number 8 ranked prospect per the MLB Pipeline, and he is the 5th overall prospect in the Giants system right now as of the middle of 2025. His expected call-up is 2027. So with all this being said, and there's another guy, Dakota Jordan, and we got plenty of time for these player profiles, and I can't wait to do his player profile as well. But 2027 is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun for the Giants. You know, it's going to fly by. 2026 could be a good one with the momentum, with the momentum that the Giants have right now, just as far as who's on the team. And then obviously we're going to see Bryce Eldridge. So it is a really exciting time for Giants and Giants fans, even if this season doesn't end the way a lot of us hope that it would. And they're not done yet, right? And even in the midst of this, they're on their way to at least battling for the last wild card spot. Should they be in this position? Probably not, but they are now, and there's still a lot of things to be excited about in the near future. Bo Davidson, his tools are loud, man. That's the best word to describe them. Loud. Scouts grade him with plus raw power and speed, and MLB Pipeline likes his upside profile as an impact outfielder. Davidson's development journey from JUCO to a leader in the minors is exactly the kind of pipeline success that the Giants are building toward. Earlier this week, we talked about and I know this was more so about draft position, but from those even year teams, you had your Lincecums, you had your Buster Posies, you had your Brandon Crawfords, these guys that you're able to find and mold and build throughout the system. And you got to hit on something. You got to hit big. That's no disrespect to who the Giants have right now and guys that they've either gotten early on in their career in the minors or they've actually drafted and they've made it to the big leagues with the Giants. But you need a big hit. Now, the Giants got a little bit spoiled in the even years because they had a ton of big hits, and that doesn't typically happen that way. But you need some big hits. So at this point, you're kind of just throwing numbers at the board, hoping something sticks. And the Giants, they're hoping Bo Davidson sticks. Here's some of his write-up from MLB.com. Davidson is still refining his instincts on the bases and in the field, but has the quickness to become a 2020 center fielder. Though he played mostly left field in San Jose because of speedster Jonah Cox, he's capable in center, and this was basically to prepare for 2025. So he's going to see some more time there in 2025. Obviously, that's what's happened. His solid arm strength fits anywhere in the outfield and helped him record 9 assists in 58 games. This is a couple summers ago. And with all that being said, I understand I'm kind of hype training it right now, and I want to. Okay, I want to. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I am self-aware enough to realize that people like me should have learned better from Joey Bart. People like me should have learned better from Marco Luciano. But it is fun to dream that one of these guys is going to hit, and one of these guys is going to be an absolute star. Again, that's no disrespect to the Christian Kosses and the Casey Schmidts, even the Elliot Ramoses. I mean, I understand these guys are MLB players, and that in itself is a win for the Giants. But we are still looking. And obviously, Bryce Eldridge is the main name, right? Is it going to be Bryce Eldridge? You need multiple hits, though. So could it be Bryce Eldridge, Bo Davidson? Like I said, we'll talk about Dakota Jordan. We've talked about Jesus Rodriguez. So there just feels like there are a lot of numbers right now being thrown at the board for the Giants within the next 2-3 years that are going to put them in a position to where trust me, I would never say that they would be similar to the even year teams. I would never say that. But they have enough in their arsenal. And I know a lot of teams feel like this. They're the 18th farm system. So we're not talking about even a top 10 farm system. But if you just have a couple hits in there, especially when you find hidden gems like Bo Davidson, this could change your franchise. This could change your franchise. Picked up from a part-time Giants scout, $50,000 he signed for, and he seems to have it. He seems to have it. Once he makes his way to Sacramento, I think one thing that a lot of Giants fans are, let's say, weary about is no longer any of the minor league stuff. I don't think there are a lot of Giants fans that really, really care about the minor league stuff because we've seen too many players absolutely crush it throughout the minor leagues, even in Sacramento, and then get to San Francisco. It's completely different. Look, the weather's different. The field is completely different. And I'm not saying that these are excuses. That's just the truth. And then on top of that, burying the lead here, it's Major League Baseball. So I think there are a lot of Giants fans out there just saying, I will believe it when I see it. And that is completely okay. But it's a Friday. You might be listening to this over the weekend. Today's the day to dream. Fridays are a day where I tend to give a lot of hope because the Giants will be playing a couple series, right? So I want everybody to have something to listen to watch throughout the weekend, and it's a time to dream. We don't know what's going to happen against the St. Louis Cardinals. We also don't know what's going to happen with Bo Davidson, but on a day where we are very, very hopeful that, the Giants can maybe make some things happen. A lot of things have to fall in their direction. But prospects, man, prospects make the world go round. And I know what happened with Marco, and I know what happened with Joey. Bryce Eldridge, Bo Davidson, this new crop, Jesus Rodriguez, this new crop of prospects. Even Drew Gilbert. Drew Gilbert's in over 500 in the last 7 games. This is what could turn things around for the San Francisco Giants. Bo Davidson, we are waiting. We are patiently and or impatiently waiting. Can't wait to see you, my guy. Can't wait to see you. One more segment with you from the new to the old. I hope that wasn't too disrespectful. Let's talk Justin Verlander. Is it crazy to bring Justin Verlander back in his 43rd year of life? Let's discuss more Locked On Giants coming up. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need an extra little push to power through your day, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. I remember my first and possibly my last chip in like it was yesterday. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, and lime flavor of 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for two to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5-H-E-win.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. One more segment with you. And the question is simple. Would it be absolutely insane to bring Justin Verlander back? You look at his record, some of his outings, and you would think, man, it didn't work out. But honestly, it's just not that simple. Every outing with Justin Verlander has been an adventure. And to be honest, it's still been pretty cool to watch him do his thing in a Giants jersey, to watch a future Hall of Famer, even with the roller coaster that this season has been. Me personally, I've enjoyed seeing him in the orange and black, even if it hasn't always ended in a W. As September rolls in, the Giants find themselves thin on pitching despite a resurgence from none other than Justin Verlander. And when he signed the 1-year, $15 million deal, both sides envisioned someone who could pitch well, anchor the rotation, and inch closer to the 300-win club. Instead, Verlander faced one of the toughest stretches in franchise history, going winless through his first 16 starts, thanks in part to poor run support and shaky bullpen play. He even became the first Giant to endure such a start in the club's 143-year history. Yet on a hot September afternoon, he finally broke through, mustering 121-pitch quality outing that helped the Giants edge closer to his 265th career win. With young arms like Roop, Birdsong, and Wisenhunt sidelined, struggling, or honestly, there's just some question marks, the Giants now face a painfully thin rotation as the season winds down. At 43 next year, Verlander might seem like a surprising option, but given his resilience and leadership, re-signing him could provide stability absent elsewhere. 10 Ks against the Orioles. It's always a grind with Verlander. And the crazy thing is, it's been such a weird season with him, with some of the lack of run support he's gotten. Justin Verlander might say no to the Giants, right? Like I said, so bizarre how things have gone down. I could see Justin Verlander saying, I'd rather go somewhere else. So this idea, and obviously I'm positioning it, whether or not the Giants should bring him back, I don't think it's crazy to think that Justin Verlander is going to have other options, and Justin Verlander may say, I'm actually cool. I'm actually good. I don't think that's crazy at all. If Justin Verlander wants to return to the Giants because of how things ended, because of the direction he sees them going in, and it's the West Coast, and Justin Verlander might just like being out here, that could also be the case. But I believe there will be more than a couple teams interested in Justin Verlander. The question that always comes up that, I just don't know if it's in the cards for Justin Verlander is whether or not he should come out of the bullpen. Alan, he should be a closer. You get through one time in the lineup. That seems like something he would want to do. I don't know what Justin Verlander wants to do. What I do know is that every time he has a bad start, there seems to be a reason. And I'm not saying that he's got cop-outs and excuses, that's just how it's been with Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander has said his stuff feels as good as his Cy Young season, or one of his most recent Cy Young season. He said that on multiple occasions. So this does not sound like a guy that wants to come out of the bullpen. And that's a big part of this. The same thing with certain position players not wanting to leave. Oh, I'm a shortstop. Oh, I'm a center fielder. Guys like that. A lot of pitchers, hey, I'm a starter. And I've come too far in my career to have that little stint at the end where I come out of the bullpen. Some players don't care about that. Some players do. I don't necessarily know whether Justin Verlander cares about it or not. I just know that Justin Verlander thinks that he still has starter quality stuff. And he has told that to us all season long. You don't have to agree with it, but he has told us that all season long. And as much as we're talking about who is on the come up for the Giants, the pitching, funny enough, most recently, that's the question. Blade Tidwell, really, really wish we would have been able to see him, but he had that shoulder stuff happen. And I don't think that the Giants are going to chance anything. He's the other guy that came over with Drew Gilbert from the Mets. Really wanted to see him because, I've said it before. I don't know Kai-Wei Tang if he's a starter in this league. Carson Whisenhunt, I still would like to see more. Hayden Birdsong, he's going to get another shot at it next season to see if he can kind of get rid of the ghosts and the demons that he saw later in the season while he was with the Giants. So I don't know if there is a pure direction that the Giants are planning to go in, unless they're going to look at the free agent market and grab a starting pitcher from there. That's obviously the other option. I think if you have the option to bring back Justin Verlander, that's great. Just depends on where you want to spend the money. It's somewhat the same pool of money: right field, second base, and starting pitcher, right? You could throw bullpen stuff in there too, but I think those are the biggest: right field, second base, starting pitcher. Where do you want to go internal, or I would say discount, right? Justin Verlander would be something of a discount. Where do you want to spend big money? It's the same pool, whether or not the Giants want to dip into that pool and how many times they want to dip into that pool. So we'll have to wait and see. If you're asking my opinion on it, I would bring him back. I think that the vet leadership piece is a big one. I think the Giants have plenty of leaders in there, but you can never have too many. If they really think they're going to make a run at this, Justin Verlander is somebody it's just better to have in your locker room than not, with the caveat that he would be open to a bullpen conversation if for some reason Hayden Birdsong figures it out. You still got Landon Roop coming back. Carson Whisenhunt figures it out. Hey, are you going to be okay with this? Or if not, you want us to just move forward with an understanding that a bullpen conversation could happen. That's what I would say. Thanks for listening to Locked On Giants. Hope you enjoy your weekend, or if you are listening to this during your weekend, hope you are enjoying it. Be sure to follow me at @the_Styles File South with an I. Also follow our Locked On Giants social media handles as well. It's another big moment on Locked On, college football fans. Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Thank you again for listening all week long. Continue to spread the word. It's been a very fun one, and hopefully it's just as fun on Monday after the Giants take care of business. We'll talk to you then. Peace.